वेलकम बैक टू माई चैनल एंड थैंक्स फॉर ट्यूनिंग इन। तो हमेशा की तरह आज अगेन एक बड़ी डिफरेंट बड़ी इंफॉर्मेटिव वीडियो डिफरेंट बिजनेस मॉडल लेके आपके सामने आए हैं। जैसा कि आप मेरे पीछे देख सकते होंगे कि द नेशनल फ्रेंचाइज शो इन अटलांटा जॉर्जिया, यहाँ पे जो है वो एक फ्रेंचाइज एग्जीबिशन हो रही है और यहाँ पे हम फ्रेंचाइज एग्जीबिशन की कवरेज करने के लिए आए हैं ताकि वी कैन फाइंड आउट डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन, डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ अपॉर्चुनिटीज़, डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ बिजनेस एक्सपोजर्स जो एज एन E2 इन्वेस्टर आपको जो है वो प्रेजेंट किया जा सके। तो जैसा कि आप लोग जानते हैं कि E2 वीज़ा ट्रीटी कंट्रीज़ के उन नेशनल्स के लिए एक ग्रेट अपॉर्चुनिटी होता है जो USA में अपना बिजनेस एस्टैब्लिश करना चाहते हैं और उस बिजनेस की बेस के ऊपर E2 वीज़ा जो है वो क्वालिफाई करना चाहते हैं। अब E2 वीज़ा की जो सबसे मेजर रिक्वायरमेंट होती है वो ये होता है कि आपको एक क्वालिफाइंग बिजनेस जो है वो उसमें इन्वेस्टमेंट करनी होती है और ये इन्वेस्टमेंट आपकी वीज़ा एप्लीकेशन से पहले होती है। तो इस वजह से जो इंटरनेशनल इन्वेस्टर्स हैं उनका सबसे बड़ा जो कंसर्न होता है वो एक राइट सिलेक्शन ऑफ बिजनेस जो है वो मौजूद होता है। जी हाँ, तो बिल्कुल इसीलिए हम आपके लिए डिफरेंट एरियाज़, डिफरेंट स्टेट्स में जो है वो विजिट करते हैं। मैं पर्सनली जो है वो ट्रैवल करके जाता हूँ ताकि आप लोगों के लिए अच्छे अच्छे बिजनेसेस जो है वो निकाल के आ सकें। तो उसी सीरीज़ की जो एक नेक्स्ट एपिसोड है उसमें आज ये अटलांटा जॉर्जिया में द नेशनल फ्रेंचाइज शो एक इवेंट हो रहा है और यहाँ पे एक एक्सक्लूसिव E2 फ्रेंचाइज जो आप लोगों के लिए लेकर आ रहे हैं। अभी मैं विजिट करूंगा शो का भी और उसमें जो फ्रेंचाइज अपॉर्चुनिटी है वो आपके साथ डिस्कस करेंगे। सो लेट्स गो इनसाइड। Okay, guys, so now we have Mr. Chris Connor, who is the franchise director and the franchise manager for the SignsExpress. And now we're going to talk about some questions and ask certain information with regards to the franchising. Hi, Chris. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Raheel. Good to be here.
Good to be here. Same here. So, Chris, tell us a little bit about the SignsExpress and the franchise. How good is this business? What is this business about?
So SignsExpress is in a big industry.
Okay.
I mean, there's such an enormous market for signage, for marketing, for branding, and SignsExpress is in an industry with a lot of other players. I've done franchise development work for 25 years, and what caught me the first time that I got a chance to really learn about the model and go into the brand and the business model of SignsExpress is the capability of this model to capture the really high margin, high volume work.
Wow.
And that's the differentiator here is this brand and the SignsExpress franchise system are able to do so much more volume because the size of each job and the scale of each job, and they've packaged into a system where they can teach someone who doesn't come from the sign industry how to do it.
Wow. So, since you know most of my investors, they are international investors and they are coming first time to the country, particularly to the USA, and this is most likely can be their first business.
Yeah.
How do you think it is easy to manage, easy to learn kind of a business, or how difficult it can be when it needs to understand, because they might not be the background of advertisements or the the signage industry. So how good is that to learn and capture with the market?
So there's two models for the SignsExpress franchise. There is a larger platform, which you don't need to have a background in signage, but
Okay.
I would like for you to have some sales experience and business development experience.
Yeah.
There's a smaller franchise model that is available for anyone.
Okay.
It doesn't matter what your background is. You need to
Okay.
be willing to learn. You need to be willing to follow a system and follow a training process, but anyone can learn this business model. And that's part of the beauty of it is so many businesses, there's an initial investment that is high and margins that are lean, and it's hard to justify them. In this business, your investment range is so reasonable and the opportunity to earn and scale the business is so high. I haven't seen any businesses that have a fixed location model that are able to do the volume that SignsExpress can do.
Right. So since we are talking about the volume or the investments or the returns, what is an average industry return on investment when it comes to the retail market as compared to the advertisements or the SignsExpress particularly?
So typically in a fixed location business, the usual return on investment is to expect to see your money come back in somewhere between 4 to 7 years. It'll take that many years for you to see the recoupment of the dollars you put in to open it.
Yeah.
In the SignsExpress model, you're looking at something closer to a year and a half. The key difference is the size of the jobs that we're doing. That is what the SignsExpress management team has been able to do so effectively, is to understand how to get the work, how to deliver the work, how to do it, how to get strategic, large, big name brands as clients, and then spread those out in the franchisees network. It's the best of breed in the signage and the marketing space out of all the franchise systems by a long shot.
Great. So now, if I need to compare the, let's say, the franchise of the SignsExpress as compared to an independent advertisements or the signage business. So if somebody as an investor, he wants to come in, he says, okay, there is a huge franchise amount involved. What is he getting in return as compared to if he wants to do the standalone business? Which one do you recommend and why?
So I think there's different approaches depending on who you are as an investor and who you are as a business owner. And in some cases, it could make sense to do something on your own. But the value in a franchise model is a proven model, having a system that's been vetted, where the mistakes have been made so you don't have to, a proven path with a blueprint so you have a way to get to quicker profitability, you have training, you have branding, you have systems in place, all the things to help you get the business ramped up quicker, more efficiently, and ultimately get profitable faster. The bigger part of what makes SignsExpress so effective and the franchise model so valuable is the strategic value that comes from the relationships that SignsExpress already has. You look at the brands that SignsExpress has worked with, the chains, the franchise systems. These are brands that are national throughout the US, some are even global. You step in as a franchise owner, you don't have to go out and get that business from scratch. You walk in as a known entity, as an approved vendor, you have an automatic leg up over competition to get that big business. The business that I was telling you about that is so high margin and so high volume, you can build a phenomenally big business with much less transactions because the scale of the opportunity.
Right. So in short, we can say, like, if you want to save money, go alone. And if you want to make a big business and earn a big profits, then go with the franchise.
I would say that. I think it's important that if you're looking at joining SignsExpress, it's important that you're comfortable working within a system.
Right.
We need you to follow our model, listen to our rules, listen to our structure. That's what will make this work. If you'll follow this, you execute, you do the things that we've done, that our leadership team has done, you'll be successful.
Perfect. So now, if we talk about in general about the franchisings, not particularly to the SignsExpress. So what is the success rate of the business? Because we know any new startups have a 90% failure rates, right? Any new business comes up in the market, the 90% chances are they would get failed. While if you compare any standalone or independent business with the franchise, what is the success ratio in comparison of the both?
It's a big difference. They're completely inverse.
Okay.
So in the US, as you mentioned, a new startup in the US, it's about 95% failure rate.
Right.
And that's after a 5-year time period. A very small percentage of new startups make it. On the franchise side, it's completely inverse. It's about 90% of new franchise models are still in business after 5 years and have been successful. The reason for that is the franchisor is giving that blueprint, giving that model, showing the franchisee the path to success. Also, the franchisor is leveraging buying power. They're negotiating vendor arrangements. They're getting better cost of goods. They're promoting the brand as a network, so you get more for your ad spend.
Right.
In the right franchise system, like SignsExpress, everyone wins. SignsExpress wins by getting a good partner from the investor. The investor wins by getting a proven business model, a brand that has credibility, and relationships that lead to new business.
Great. So, I mean, that's a great piece of information, Chris. So, in the end, would you have any particular piece of information or advices for the new investor or a first-time entrepreneurs when they want to do some new business and new into the country? So, they are new investors, they are first-time entrepreneurs, and they are new to the country. So, what advice would you like to give them in terms of right selection of business, right selection of franchise, or right selection of areas?
Yeah. So first of all, I have so much respect for anyone that is willing to take the risk and have the vision and the courage to not only start a new business, but to immigrate to a new country and all the things that come with that. And so much respect and honor for you. this business model, this SignsExpress franchise system, is as good of a franchise platform as I've ever seen in 25 years of doing franchise work in the US. It is as well proven, well structured, well organized of a franchise platform with as much revenue and profitability opportunity as I've ever come across. If you are going to take this route and move your family and take the risk of starting a business, my recommendation is to do it with a platform that gives you that opportunity. Now, it's up to you to make the decisions as to, is this the industry that you'd like to get into? Is this the brand that you'd like to work with? Is the SignsExpress management team the management team you'd like to align with? But I can tell you from my experience and having been in the industry for a long time, you're not going to find any better than this. Once you go through that process, I think what you'll see is that this path forward will give those sort of assurances and will give you the financial opportunity to justify making that move and taking the move into a new country too.
Great, that's a wonderful piece of advice, Chris, and a great explanation. So now you guys understand when you move to a new country, everything is new for you. You are doing a first-time experience, so it's always better to be surrounded with the people who have experienced, who are native in that areas, and who are native and experienced in their particular niche. So make your next business investment wisely and choose your next business, next area, next geography, and a great franchise so that we can hold your hand and we can promote and boost your business over the next couple of years. And you can actually enjoy the success of not only your E2 visas, but also for your business growth as well. So thank you so much for watching it, and thank you so much, Chris, for joining us and giving us a wonderful piece of information.
Thank you for having me,
sir.
Raheel.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Nice to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you.